CT Moore at SMX Toronto for NVI. I'm about to sit down and talk to Larry Bailin, the author of Mummy, Where Do Customers Come From? And we're going to be talking about universal and blended search. So Larry, you have a book called Mummy, Where Do Customers Come From? Where exactly do customers come from?
The book primarily explains the evolving customer and how customers that didn't come from the web or don't use the web will eventually go away to be followed by their counterparts, your more connected type customer. And those connected customers are finding businesses and services in many different ways, but all related to the internet. So it really talks about how to deal with that type of connected customer.
And you delivered a presentation yesterday on universal and blended search. How do you see that vertical of search evolving?
Blended and universal search, when it first came out, I believe it was in 2007, Google decided that there's more information out there beyond the walls of websites, beyond the constraints of websites, things like press releases in the news, podcasts, videos, so on and so forth, that were gaining popularity, yet they weren't really being indexed in traditional search engines where 98% of online searchers look for things. So they started to blend these results, which made a lot of sense. So now when you go to Google, there's not just websites that show up, but there's videos, there's blogs, there's news feeds, there's podcasts, and really pretty much anything that touches the web, right down to lately, they've just added Twitter feeds. So the way I see it evolving, from a business perspective, you're going to have to do some of these other things. You can't just rely on your website anymore. You have to be a little more diverse. Now, I'm not saying that you have to do everything just because it is in blended search. You have to do the things that make sense. If your customers are on YouTube and you can identify that there are potential customers on YouTube, you should be creating videos. If you have customers that want to listen to podcasts, you should create a podcast. If you don't have those types of clients, then you don't have to do these things. But there are many different things out there that do show up in blended search that are great customer acquisition tools, and blended search just allows them to be found. So the way it's going to evolve is, from a business perspective, you're going to have to do some of these things. From a consumer's perspective, anything new coming out will be blended into the mix. It's just going to start to show up in search engines.
Larry Bailin, ladies and gentlemen, author of Mummy, Where Do Customers Come From? Thanks for your time, Larry.
My pleasure.